It's time to extend your domination. Extend your command precision with an 8200 DPI Pro Aim R3 laser sensor. Extend your atmospherics with a fully customizable 4 LED multicolor lighting system with effects. Extend the life and accuracy of your gaming with the Rocket Titan wheel. The Cone XTD Max Customization Gaming Mode.
Welcome to the ASUS ROG DreamLeague Day 2. We're live again from Sweden. It's Day 2. If you're not familiar with the DreamLeague, it's DreamHack's new Dota 2 tournament. It's $50,000 in prize money, and we've invited 6 of the finest teams to play in it. Day 1 was yesterday. You're here for another great day of games, and we've got 3 matches coming your way. Coming first is going to be none other than Alliance versus NaVi. El Clasico, it's called. I think that's football related. I'm not really sure, but I'm going to talk to Pyrian in a little bit about that, and we'll get to the bottom of it. But also, NaVi in the first match, they're actually going into the double header. EG, unfortunately, unable to make it today with flight problems. So we've got NaVi versus Fnatic twice. They will finish both their games here today, and we'll see if Fnatic can take down NaVi, because, of course, they were able to beat Alliance yesterday. So joining me in the studio, as you can see, is everyone else other than me.
Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Up? Amazing. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I actually spent a lot of time waiting for the show to start. We were quite early and prepared, and I've just been sorting out my end of the bar.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you have anything set up for us? Something?
Not.
I could use a drink right now.
Not really. The bar's not really open. It's kind of in production phases, but essentially this has been me for the last 45 minutes just talking to Pyrian.
Yeah.
But if I can get some whiskey down here, that would be
It's
great.
the shiniest bar I've ever seen.
Sorry?
It's the shiniest bar I've ever seen.
It is. I've done really well. How's it going? Speaking of shiny, Pyrian.
Whoa, come on. The makeup lady did a fantastic job. She actually had to come back. I felt guilty because she's like, oh, no, you're still way too shiny.
Yeah.
This is like...
She's like, okay, just let me get my extra bag. Gets a scalpel. Wait, what's not a scalpel? A trowel.
No.
Scalpel.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's not go too far. You're gonna.
We didn't have like reconstructive surgery. She just had to put a ton of powder on us so we didn't blind the audience.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I wish we were doing like the show on Halloween, because apparently the makeup lady did all her mates' Halloween makeup.
Really?
How good would that be?
That would have been good. It's like zombie cast.
Kind of
Yeah.
want that.
Yeah.
No.
That would have been epic.
Can I have a late Halloween, James? Please.
Oh, I don't know, Bruno.
Come on.
We're going to have to watch the games.
Make a wish. Okay.
I can deal with that.
Yeah.
So everyone's all right? Everyone's happy to be here again?
Good to
Yeah,
go, man.
delighted.
Alliance NaVi,
Yeah.
kidding me? And then Fnatic NaVi twice?
Yeah, there were some fantastic games. Also, though, speaking of yesterday, you enjoy that?
Yeah, it was a great day of games. I mean, I think the biggest thing for me was the 20-minute, I would actually call it a stomp against Alliance that Fnatic brought in. I mean, they came to win, fantastic performance. But the thing that kind of makes it even more impressive is that that's really Fnatic's style. They didn't come in with anything new. That was their strategy. They just ran it great and just overperformed, in my opinion.
All right. Well, we're going to be getting into today's games in a little moment. And I might have completely lost the producers in my ear, so I'm going to go out on a whim and say if you weren't watching yesterday, you should definitely check out the highlight videos, because yesterday it was played, and I actually have it down on my awesome ASUS notepad, which is really hard to read. It was Team Liquid NaVi, Alliance Fnatic, VP and Alliance all played yesterday. And the first one was, of course, the Cold War. You guys are more welcome to talk about what happened in the games and how they went down. Rascal, you said you're a goldfish, so I don't even know how we're going to
No, I mean, if
get
I
you in
see
here.
it in front of me, it's really easy to remember what happened. I
There's
mean,
a
This is
black hole.
Puppy's
This
3-man
game-
black hole, and then no
no
follow-up,
damage follow-up
unfortunately.
here. Yeah, he goes in, he's like, no, wait, this is one where he gets banished, and I think the banish was actually a mistake because the rest of the team got too far away, right? And Way2 was like just the guy who got killed that entire game. This is the fight where you imagine that NaVi win because this is the 3-man black hole, and then everyone on the side of Team
Just
Liquid
looking at
takes no
Hurricane.
damage.
We're like, hurry up.
Yeah, there's like, please do some damage, and then all of a sudden in comes the Eclipse from TC, he wipes everyone out. This is the point in the game where everyone's like, oh man, Liquid can actually win this. And then of course, we get into this fight and everything
look
kind
at
of goes
that.
bad.
There were 2 fights in that game where it felt like Liquid could come back, but
I mean, they were playing for some crits. They obviously lost 2 racks around going into like the mid game just because of how strong the Death Prophet was. But they did really well. NaVi, of course, the ones to take the victory there. Team Liquid, that was their first game. They went 0-1 yesterday, and then we moved on to the Battle of Sweden. This was Alliance and Fnatic, and some people say that the good
This is
studio
it.
hyped
This is-
Fnatic.
You could just stop the highlight
Yeah.
after this.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, this is where S4 just like, he wanted to leave the game.
Yeah.
And if that wasn't enough, there
look at
was
this.
an Invis rune denial.
No,
and S4
you're not getting this.
can't even get it. And then
can't
he
kill the-
dies.
yeah.
He walks back down the river, and then suddenly,
he's like, oops.
Surprise, no tail.
cold snap into Gale, blink to high ground, Trixie YOLO steals the kill with an ulti, and S4 just really not a good time.
That's a horrible scene.
Yeah, and as I was mentioning, some people say like we do hype the Fnatic a little bit, the good studio. Maybe it's me because I'm a bit of a fan of them, but also Alliance I'm a fan of as well. But at the same time, that was, I would say, the surprise.
Yes.
Yep.
Even though they're good enough and we know they can do it, Fnatic at the end of this game took it 1-0, and Alliance, that meant that they lost their first game of the DreamLeague. So Alliance, of course, going to be playing today versus NaVi. Potentially that's a harder game coming up. But this, Fnatic just gave them no room after the great start that they had.
And Hani had like an amazing game.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the first Sunstrike when S4 blinked over the Roshan pit, that was insane.
That was completely
Incredible.
blind.
Yeah.
Very, very well done.
And of course, the last game yesterday was the David versus Goliath matchup, which was going to be VP versus Alliance. A game that Alliance, I felt, couldn't afford to lose. And luckily for them, they had a great start. Here's S4 going on G in the middle.
Bring
You're
around
going to
the
see in
Rosie,
just a
man.
minute. He's going to
He
give him
had
the
a
old
nightmare.
run around. Now, he will get the first blood, but eventually go down to the tower, but definitely worth it. And it was all there, a bit of a story about G, unfortunately. He decided to skip out on the mech, go straight for Aghanims, and had a tough time mid. And not having that mech did kind of cost him a little bit later on in the fights. And we also mentioned around the 10-minute mark, Admiral Bulldog was being involved. He was doing great on his bounty.
This was a really nice
Yeah,
fight.
this
for
was the
VP
best
here.
fight
Yeah.
VP had.
But they walked in against 5. I mean, the entirety of VP was there, and there was no real fight to be had. S4 trying to escape, but he gets telekinesis up on the high ground, just dies, even with a 4 staff, and it was a 3-man pick, but tough.
Yeah, and also Krill, we should mention, was the new player for VP, the stand-in after Solo apparently was removed from the team due to either some criticism from organizations or other teams that basically they said, hey, this guy did some match fixing a little while ago, sorry, and they haven't removed, so they had to bring in a new player, and that was why. But they played really well, he did well, and VP actually put up a very good fight against Alliance, but they weren't able to take the victory. So Alliance did win 1 game, they lost 1, even though only 3 games have been played here. We can take a look at the standings just to see how it's all kind of panned out, if 3 games are going to tell you any story, but we're hoping these graphics are going to magically appear, and here they are. So NaVi took 1 game, 1 win. Alliance had a fantastic start because that 1 win was over Alliance. Fnatic, sorry, had a fantastic start as that was a win over Alliance. And Alliance, they went 1-1. And today, they're going up against NaVi. So if NaVi can secure this win, they're going to be looking great. But then again, NaVi are going to have that 2 matches versus Fnatic. So we're really going to see who's going to pop just from NaVi, Fnatic, and Alliance at the end of today. That's the story. And then, of course, we're going to get more stories from EG, VP, and Team Liquid over the course of the week.
Alliance for me is the big question mark right now, because yesterday you actually misspoke, but you were right at the same time. It's like Alliance beat Alliance because honestly, they drafted, in my opinion, poorly. in that game against Fnatic. They picked the Juggernaut, and I'm thinking to myself, how are they going to do this against a Furion, against an Enigma, Lifestealer? There were so many cards on the table that Juggernaut just simply couldn't handle. And because they shut down S4 so effectively, there was no comeback coming from that 5-man death push that they had. And Hani played a spectacular game, so I'm looking for Fnatic to come in today. A lot of momentum and really perform well.
Well, anything else, Bruno?
Well,
Let's get involved.
I really don't want
I did my professional bit. I was all kind of talking over graphics.
Yes.
I didn't want to
Made my money's
interrupt. You're
worth.
on a roll. You know, who knows what's coming up.
Felt
so, yeah.
very serious and intense. I don't want to put all the blame into the picks. I mean, Loda's Juggernaut was clearly not the pick for that game. But when you have a game like that, and I can't also really blame S4, he was unfortunate to have that big game. When you have a Queen of Pain, you rely on that bottle. You can't just not use your spells because that's your hero, and you can't go back to the fountain every 5 minutes, or even less than that. So it was kind of an unfortunate game for Alliance. I'm going to say the luck was not in their side. Fnatic played really well, and we moved forward. Yeah.
All right. Okay, so we're going to be moving into game one in just a moment, but I do want to say, if you're watching at home and you're enjoying the stream, you can also check out the VODs on tv6play.se. VODs will be up there as well as obviously the live stream here on Twitch TV. Also, if you want to support anything that everyone's doing here, I guess, DreamHack, Good Studio included, and everyone else, there is actually an in-game ticket. I think it's $9.99, and there's a Spirit Breaker set. Some people have already bought the ticket, and the Spirit Breaker set is on its way. We've been working with Valve, and that hopefully will be going in tomorrow, so it will be gifted to those people that already bought the ticket. So do not fret. And with that being said, it looks like we're ready to get into game number one. So let's roll a cool graphic, guys, and then we'll talk about that. That would be good, wouldn't it?
Sweet.
Yep.
They called it El Clasico.
Yeah,
Explain.
Footballing reference, specifically La Liga, the Spanish Football League. Barcelona, Real Madrid, whenever they play head-to-head, it's called
My question is,
El Gran Clasico. But
which team has Messi? Because that team wins.
Barcelona. Oh, you mean today?
No,
oh,
here.
Yeah, I get you.
Thank you.
I get you.
I think you know where the Argentinians play. Korean.
Well, you say that, but okay. Well,
He is,
I don't know.
he is
It's a
English. He
tough
knows a
one.
lot about football.
You've got
They're
Ronaldo on one
Argentinian.
team, you've got Messi on the other. So technically, I guess you could have that's like Dendy versus S4, I guess. But yeah, which one is which? I don't know. I haven't seen Messi have a bad game really, so I would have to say probably Dendy. S4 yesterday performance, didn't go so well for him. So maybe he can be Ronaldo. Yeah.
Fair enough.
All right,
Still
then.
awesome, but
Slightly less awesome,
not
I
Messi.
guess.
But I do love S4, so it's a tough call. But you put me on the spot.
It's like choosing between your kids.
No, it's not like that. Sorry.
You want to say hi to your
Yeah,
kids?
hi,
I know
kids.
they actually watch the VODs.
Okay,
I was trying
yeah.
to give you a perfect segue.
No, that was perfect. But go to bed. Be good.
Excellent, well done. Speaking of the players that are playing today, let's meet the first team up. We can go to NaVi, and as we did mention Dendy and S4 there, but we'll start with NaVi first. So these are the guys that actually, when they went versus Alliance last, it was in the Star Ladder, and they did win. So they are very capable of beating Alliance, and probably the best team to beat Alliance. Fnatic, Havorst, Dendy, Puppy, and Kurokai make up the 5. If you want to explain this team, Andy, as what kind of team they are, how would you break it down?
They're really, really good. That's
Excellent, thank
yeah.
you.
Yeah, I mean, they're
Back to-
just...
over to Bruno.
They're a good team. Okay, so here's the thing, right? You have the solo mid Dendy. He's the lane dominator. He's the guy
Slow down, too much
who
information.
can make things happen, right? If you compare
is
it
the
to
Dendy?
somebody like S4 who plays with his team, their styles of mid are actually completely different because S4 is the captain. He makes the calls. He does everything really. Well, not everything because Alliance is a 5-man team, but he makes a lot of stuff happen. So if you look at Dendy, Dendy is the one who focuses on crushing his lane really hard, make sure that a player like S4 can't really get the momentum that he wants. And we saw what happens when S4 gets shut down. The team can actually just crumble if they're relying on S4 to play a hero like Puck, like Queen of Pain, where you need that mid-game impact, and he just won't have it.
Right, and some of the people calling the strategies for Navi's side that could shut down S4 if they choose to is Puppy. We'll take a look at him. But Pyrian, you know Puppy.
Yeah.
You pissed him off at TI3 by holding up the line.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, he's the kind of guy. I think he's the perfect captain because nobody, even if you doubt him, he's going to shut you down and he's going to say, "No, we're doing what I say." And I think a team, every team needs somebody like that who's just going to say, "No, I'm the captain. You shut up and do what I tell you. I don't care who you are." And that's Puppy to me.
Sound like you want to join the military or something.
Hey,
like,
Yeah.
he's the man. You going to argue with Puppy? He's like 10 foot tall.
He is pretty
Yeah,
tall.
he is.
He is pretty tall. So yeah, that's Puppy. That's that's NaVi, and they are, as we can say, a very, very good team. Is a simple way to kind of sum it up. And they're going up versus Alliance. We can meet the 5 of them. If you're not familiar, I would be surprised. But it's Admiral Bulldog, Loader, S4, Ake, and EGM. Yesterday, I don't think EGM had the best performance, and also S4, and somewhat Loader and Admiral Bulldog didn't get to shine as much. Maybe Loader didn't get the room to play with that he wanted, but he was still picking up his farm and doing great. But how would you sum up the team today?
Well, hero choices were the big problem for me. We talked about it at length, so I'm not going to drill too much on it anymore. But it's hard to have a good performance when your hero pick stops you from having a good performance. Like, what does Loda do on the Juggernaut, really? I mean, Loda is a player who he can make things happen as well. He can play very aggressive. He's gotten a lot better over the last couple of months playing with the team. And whenever they make good calls, precise calls, they dominate the game at a very early stage, even with greedy picks. So give him something like a lifestealer if you can. Try to steer away from things that are not good against push, because a lot of teams are doing that now, and go from there.
Yeah, and we talked about Puppy earlier, Pyrian, and you said he's the captain you want. But what about Loader? I mean, he's just as experienced.
Yeah. Different style of captain, I think.
What do you think his style of captaining is? He's a bit cooler and laid back.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, I mean, if you see them, they're all kind of, they're kind of chilled. They take it seriously, but they're not, they're not scary. Puppy scares me, is what I'm saying.
Okay.
You want to be
You
scared
want to be scared.
into
You
doing
like the
well.
person that
It's
scares
like, if I
you
don't
into
do well,
playing
Puppy's
well.
No,
going
I'm
to
saying
hurt
they're
me.
two different styles. One style is terrifying.
Do you play better under pressure when you play a pub? Do you like a person saying, no, Pyrian?
No.
Some people do, though. That's important.
I don't.
Yeah.
I like my captain to be the kind of arm around the shoulder. It's okay, Pyrian, you'll get him next time. That kind of thing. I need that.
But you'll never make the big leagues from
No,
the
I kind of
soccer
given up
team.
on that dream anyway, James, to be quite honest with you. Yeah.
Damn. Bruno, what have you got to say overall about Alliance and how they should perform today versus NaVi?
I think they have to show themselves after yesterday's kind of slip up against Fnatic. I was saying before, I think luck was not on their side, but if they lose now to NaVi, they will start posing this question: is this team focused after winning the International 3? Maybe they're just on a mental break. I think enough time has passed, so this is the game, and this is the game where they have to show that they still have it.
Well, we'll see, because last time they met, as we mentioned, Alliance lost to NaVi in the Star Ladder, but this is the first time that they will meet here at the Dream League. So best of luck to both teams. It looks like we're going into the bans and picks, and we'll send it over to Andy to lead that away, but of course joined by none other than Pyrian and Bruno. So hope you guys enjoy the TriCast and the match itself. See you after the game.
All right, game number 1 coming. NaVi taking on Alliance. Pyrian. We can see the bans are coming out.
Yep.
Lich first ban.
Yeah, first ban. This is a whole new world. And it's funny, we were talking about the difference, maybe Alliance are not playing as well as they have done at the moment. 6.79 just happened, relatively speaking.
It's been a while.
Well, I don't know. It takes a lot. If you've played one way, think about TI3. Okay, think how long that patch was frozen, the way it was for a long time before TI3, and that's when you boot camp, and that's when you get everything nailed in. And I think at that point, you get a way of playing locked in, and it takes time to break habits and styles, and I think that they'll adapt, but it takes time,
I think it's especially important to note that Alliance are a team who in the past are known to be extremely greedy. Like, they pick Wisp, Cuddle, Prophet together, and then they still make it work. So when you have that kind of a style and the game transitions from tri-lanes defensively to 2-1-2 aggressive lanes and a lot of action, I think that that's almost polar opposite of the style that Alliance are used to. So maybe Pyrian's right. Maybe they're still trying to find their footing.
Yeah, I mean, with a team like Alliance, I think they can afford to explore pretty much anything they want to do and anything they want to go for.
They're good enough, right?
They're good enough.
Yeah, absolutely.
In terms of maybe individual skill, we were talking when you were saying the Messi comparison. Maybe NaVi has a couple players that are a little bit higher, but at the same time, Alliance also has. I have lots of sound in my ear right now, so sorry.
They got the Lifestealer, man.
Yeah, please.
That's Loda's hero. That is the hero that you want to give to him. I even mentioned it during the pregame, and saying that you want to give him a hero where he can actually do something. And
Bruno is
like-
tripped over. There is a light
That is
on
the
set.
third time he's done
He
that
has literally
today.
tripped over it 3 times. He even practiced not tripping over it very specifically. I'm going to practice not tripping over this light, and he just absolutely booted it. And
That's okay.
I think he's okay. Okay,
We love
mind the
Bruno.
light, Bruno.
At least it didn't fall. That would have been even worse. Because then not only would he have messed up the lighting, but he would have hurt himself, and then everyone's going to
Yeah.
feel bad at that point.
So
I just can't see that light. I just can't see.
It's in Bruno's blind spot.
you guys can't see it, but it's like the size of a traffic light.
Yeah.
It's a very big light.
So all right, so the Lich ban, I think we saw Aki likes Lich.
Yes.
And you know what you were saying about the way Alliance play, and a lot of people said this to me, that they like to give levels and stuff to their supports. Like they win all their lanes and they get everybody leveled up. You know, they don't just do like the 4 protect 1, right? Their
Right.
stat is, I mean, if you think about, they have Bulldog and Loader getting farm and pushing and stuff. So if you take the Lich away, suddenly you've got to play a more traditional support who's not going to be like level 8. Despite basically doing nothing. Like Aki was up in levels, no problem. And it's like, wow, why is this Lich so peppy?
Yeah, it's a good point, because sacrifice, anyone who doesn't know, now you get experience for any time you sacrifice a creeper, and you don't even have to put yourself in harm's way.
You just
and
stand
Ake is the
over.
guy who does everything in his power to prevent his team from having having to do any work. He's
Right,
the guy
right.
who walks up and is like, oh, do you want breakfast? I made you some stuff in bed, and he just hands it to you. So yeah, I agree on that front. In Alliance, they get a front 2 that we are extremely familiar with, the Nature's Prophet, Lifestealer, and these heroes work together extremely well just because Nature's Prophet, every time you see him, you think to yourself, we need a lane that's going to be able to win to make sure that this hero can do something. You know, you go into a lane, you get a gank, you get a free tier 1.
Yes. And the thing about that as well is Lifestealer, he craves on every kind of hero that has mobility in him.
Yeah.
Bounty Hunter, Nature's Prophet, Bad Rider, things that can move around easily and he can just jump into. It's also really nice. As well as you can be a farming Nature's Prophet. I'm just like split pushing this lane. And you see him by himself, you're going to
Yeah.
gank that and
And
surprisingly.
then suddenly, Loda.
Yeah.
Loda comes there, gets a free kill. It's beautiful.
These are 2 kind of safety picks, right? I mean, like
Yeah,
Admiral
I-
Bulldog's famous Nature's Prophet. It's
This
like,
is
yeah,
what
let's go
they
back to
know
with
the
this stat,
most.
right?
And
Yeah, yeah.
when you had, honestly, a pretty rough loss yesterday to a team that I think in Alliance's mind, they think they should beat,
Yeah.
I think this is kind of what you go to. You go back to what you're comfortable with.
Yeah.
And I think this is probably going to be where we're going to see Alliance playing the strongest that they can. But NaVi, they have a strong front two as well. We talked about the Visage Clockwork synergy, the capability of just throwing down cogs. Familiars do a extensive amount of damage, and you have the capability of stopping somebody like a Lifestealer from just mauling somebody, which is nice.
Yeah, definitely.
So we're still looking at the next couple of bans coming out. We can see Earthshaker has actually been removed, a hero that Puppy himself loves even before they gave him the extra range on Fissure. Got buffed by about 100, I believe, in 6.79. So that hero as a counter initiator is amazing.
Yeah.
And a team like Alliance is always going to be looking for picks so they can try to use their Nature's Prophet to make sure that they can just go in, go for a tower after a kill, and try to just focus on gaining full map control, because that's really where Alliance start to thrive. When they get the tier 1s down, their movement, I think, is probably about the best that you can see out of any team. So anyway, we got a couple more bans coming out. NaVi, they're sticking with their Visage Clockwork at the moment. So Pyrian,
Yes.
what
sir.
do you think about Visage as a hero? Like, we see a lot of tri-lanes in the past where
Yeah.
Visage was kind of like the king.
Yeah.
Now people still pick him a lot, but we don't really see as many tri-lanes as we used to.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, he's not a hero. I've played him like maybe once or twice, I
Yeah.
think, because he requires micro skills, and that's not my forte. But he is good to have on your team. I think he's a very strong support. Obviously, even with I think nerfed him a little bit, didn't they? But he's still pretty strong.
They've changed him a few
they
times.
have. Mind the light,
Yeah.
Bruno. Unbelievable.
Like, he doesn't even care anymore. He just walked off. Number 4, we're just going to have like a
Yeah,
counter going the
that's the
entire
number 4
broadcast.
for
How many
light
times he's going to
kicking
kick
by
that
Bruno.
light.
That's incredible.
I don't even really know what to say. NaVi, in the meantime, they're going to be picking themselves up an Enigma,
Yeah.
which I like for multiple reasons.
Yeah.
First, you look at the side of Alliance and you say, no interrupt yet.
Yeah.
Of course, they have 3 more heroes to
Yeah,
pick,
yeah.
so there's likely going to be 1. But when you already have a Clockwork, that's one of the worst heroes to play against if you're an Enigma, because
Yeah.
you have the long-range counter initiation. The Earthshaker was taken out for them, so
Yeah,
Alliance
yeah.
can't get it themselves, so you're not going to have a Fissure to worry about. There's only a couple of heroes in the pool who really deal with him in a sufficient way if we're talking just about Black Hole. And NaVi now have initiation, they have high physical damage follow-up, and they have the capability of pushing. So very well-rounded lineup so far.
Yeah, it's looking good. Puppy's Enigma is legit as heck. I like watching it. So as someone who loves playing Enigma, I always like watching a good black hole can't be beat.
It's true. In terms of excitement, you see like 3 to 4 heroes in a black hole,
Yeah.
and you just want to go full Toby on it.
And of course,
you know?
he could get an Aghanims, just to go back to our discussion yesterday.
Oh yeah, I would love
Could be
that
interesting.
if he made an Aghanims, especially if he makes it before any other item. Like
Right,
don't get a
yeah,
mech,
just
don't get a
Aghs Rush,
BKB,
yeah.
no blink, just Aghs. I think that would probably make me the happiest person in the world. But Crystal Maiden now comes out from Alliance, so we talked about the stress of winning the laning phase when you have a Prophet. It's really important, at least winning one lane. Because if you get a triple lane loss and you have a Prophet, you're like, well, I can't get to a tower to push it, so what do I do?
Well, the thing is, right now, when we were talking before about Alliance kind of maybe trying new things or playing differently, this goes back to what Alliance does best. I mean, these are probably the 3 best heroes on each of these 3 players. Admiral Bulldog, of course known by his Lone Druid, but his Nature's Prophet is amazing. Ake, Crystal Maiden, and Junglers is what he plays all the time. Maybe add some Keeper of the Light into it. And Loda, Lifestealer, is the hero that suits him really well because he wants to just get some farm. He doesn't want to get into 60 minutes farm fest. Just get an armlet 12, 15 minutes into the game, start fighting, synergizes very well with everything else. And I'm expecting to see lots of freezing fields here.
Yeah,
Because that's kill
clutch
right
freezing
now. It's
fields.
actually really legit.
Yeah, if you can find a good spot to stand and you know you're not going to get interrupted, which right now there's a few methods, but I don't think Puppy is going to be worrying about trying to stop a Crystal Maiden ulti as much as he is lining up a black hole. And NaVi, they're following things up with a Razor pick, so the name of the game is stop Loda from having any kind of success in this game. And right now it's looking to be a solo core lifestealer. Nature's Prophet gets farm, but he's going to need time if he wants to be able to help Loda out in that semi-carry
Can I ask
role.
a quick question about Crystal
Yeah,
Maiden?
sure.
While she's freezing field, couldn't I stick a load of trees around her if I was Nature's Prophet, like sprout her so
And
she-
protect her?
Yeah.
You can, yes. It's just there are 3 ranged heroes right now on the side of NaVi, all of which can attack through those trees.
But they would need vision in
if
there.
the
wouldn't
familiars are by her,
Yeah, yeah.
you'll have the vision. They're not great vision, but there's something.
Wow.
Suitcase
Elder
Elder
Man.
Titan in the 4th pick.
Yeah, Elder Titan.
I
Yeah.
mean, this is really interesting. Elder Titan is this hero that we've seen permaban in the first phase every single
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
And that's just because he's too strong. He can go into pretty much every lane as a support, as a mid, as even the farmer in a lane,
Yeah,
in an
he
off
can.
lane, whatever. So having Elder Titan right now in the 4th pick seems to be like these teams kind of assume that always someone bans it. It's like, oh, no, look, it's in the pick right now. We can actually use it. And do you think it works well with this lineup?
I think
that
it's
Alliance
not
has.
necessarily with this lineup that we have to keep in mind. It's look at NaVi's lineup. Look at how stationary their heroes are. Outside of Clockwork, once he hooks in, he throws down the cogs. How does he dodge any of Elder Titan's spells? How does Puppy worry about having something like an Earth Splitter going through a team fight when he has to try to line up a black hole? And if Dendy's playing Razor, he has to stick next to Lifestealer the whole time to make sure that he gets a good static link. So you have like this proximity-based team who has to be more or less next to each other to make everything happen that they want to. And Elder Titan flourishes in those type of situations. And not only that, but just having something like that to increase the damage of Nature's Prophet Ultimate and Crystal Maiden's abilities, it still hits really hard when you have Natural Attunement on you. And last pick here from NaVi is going to be Queen of Pain. So it's going to be Havost on the Razor, and it's going to be Queen of Pain there for Dendy. And then still need one more hero for Alliance, but Pyrian, what are you thinking? They got the staple gun now. You thinking probably some more magic damage or a Viper?
Wow.
Viper.
Is this going to be a farming Viper or a mid Viper? What
Mid
do you
Viper.
Mid Viper.
Mid
I'll
Viper,
call it
so
right now,
farming-
Bruno.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mid Viper I think is really nice because Queen of Pain, if you go Corrosive Skin in that matchup, but no, Havost takes the Queen of Pain.
Wow.
So it might actually
Wow.
be Dendy. I think they actually switched the roles as soon as they saw that S4 took Viper because they
Huh.
want to make sure that they put Razor against Viper because that's a better matchup. Because if you Shadow Strike that, it's like really, really nice. So it's that particular matchup, Corrosive Skin, every time you Shadow Strike, you're taking that extra damage. And not to mention, Neurotoxin is very, very high base damage, so you're going to be able to out-CS a Queen of Pain in mid. But when you throw a Static Link into the mix, you're basically making it so he can't sit on the creep wave at all, and he doesn't necessarily even need to hit you to make sure that he's going to be harassing, because your base damage is going to go like nowhere, essentially, and then it's going to be pretty good.
It's going to be very interesting right now.
Yeah, and of course, we do have all the picks underway, and we are going to be jumping into the game here, as now everyone is going to be taking up their heroes. So now, it's Alliance, NaVi, first game of the day, everyone's got their heroes. Who do you favor here, Bruno?
I have to say I like Navi's lineup a little bit better.
Yeah.
Because they have this potential that if they can delay the game, if the game is even far enough, the black hole being there, all the potential for all these amazing plays are there. Just black hole into Scream of Pain, into Sonic Wave, Razor, Plasma Field. that alone can win a team fight. And when you win a team fight 40, 50 minutes into the game, that means Rax. And Rax means game.
Yeah, typically killing barracks means that you win the game.
Yep,
It's
good call, Bruno.
It's a good strategy to go for, trying to kill the enemy's buildings.
Well, some
Very
people
strong.
try to kill the heroes. And the heroes, no matter how many times you kill them, they always come back.
That's true, but they do come back longer and longer intervals.
Maybe they should change Reaper's Scythe. You know they're trying to buff Necrolite. They gave him 1 armor right now.
I don't know if that's
Accept
like
Reaper's Scythe. Hero doesn't come back into the game.
ever.
Ever.
Yeah, if
It
you
just-
get ulted once, you're just gone. It's like playing dodgeball.
Would you
Yeah.
build
You get hit
Scepter
by
in
the
that,
ball and you're
in
just
that
out.
instance, Andy? Would you build Scepter?
Oh yeah, if
You
it took
would?
you out of the game completely, I think I would probably just build the scepter. But see, you keep confusing it because I'm only upset about the fact that he made a
Oh,
scepter
I
on an Enigma, okay?
By the way, he's got 5 clarities. That seems excessive.
Yeah, you really only need 3 if
Mm-hmm.
you're going to go straight for a soul ring, but maybe he's anticipating that somebody's going to be harassing him
Yep.
in the jungle and he doesn't want to have to
Like
worry
we saw
about
yesterday with Fluff
Yeah, Fluff on the
messing him
Sand
up
King.
with the Sand King. That was unpleasant.
Well, he messed him up and then he walked in and then he died.
Yeah,
So
that
it was
the-
like,
that was where it fell apart for Liquid. I
I'm going to
think.
mess you up and then I'm going to die.
It was a great plan up until the point where it all fell apart.
Alliance here. They're fielding an aggressive tri-lane, so it's going to be a Life Stealer, an Elder Titan, and a Crystal Maiden, which is actually a pretty scary tri-lane to
It's
go
really
against.
strong. And I think Navi realizes that as well. The problem is, can you kill a Queen of Pain in a tri-lane?
Not with this tri-lane.
Wow.
The Queen of Pain has to either aggressively blink or you have to go for the Visage, and maybe they just want to hunt down Puppy, which, if that's the case, those 5 polarities are going to come in handy because his conversions are going to be getting harassed, and if they just have a defensive dual lane with a jungler, Puppy's going to have to be very active in this early game if he wants to stop it.
And the thing as well is once EGM gets to level 2 and maybe Aki as well, they can just hunt and kill these Eidolons with their nukes. Like just Spirit with the level in Natural Order and the Frozen Field might be enough to get 2 or 3, and that means even more level for the supports as well. You're stealing level from the enemy just by being
Middle lane, Dendi. He's going really deep here on S4. He will get the static link off, but now he
Well,
has to walk
yeah.
all the way around.
S4 now doing like 15 damage though.
But yeah, good luck last hitting.
Yeah, I mean, this is what you do, though, as a Razor. You buy boots, you get pulled some regeneration, and you suck them off, man. Ake going to be throwing out that Nova. Spirit going to be there as well, just dealing a bit of damage to Kuro. And Navi's lane, even though it's a Queen of Pain Visage, it's still a dual lane. And these supports know that they can aggressively position, especially now since the creep wave meets so much farther down the lane.
Well,
You can
EGM.
zone out these 2 heroes. And EGM's going to take some damage, but he's got plenty of regen. He's got a set of tangos. He's got a salve. He doesn't really mind taking those extra autos. And Puppy now doing some pre-runing here from middle.
So Prophet has taken boots first and some tangos. What's the deal with this? What, I mean, is he still going to get a Midas or not?
Well, he might still go Midas. He might just rush phase boots to make sure that he can win his lane harder.
Right.
Because if Clockwork has a stout shield, it's very difficult for Admiral Bulldog to harass in this lane with just treants. He
Also,
needs extra
he
damage.
could just run him down with battery assault, right?
Right.
He has to have boots.
Right, so that's
just
why
gonna be
you want the
painful.
phase.
Yeah, I mean, in any case, the thing about Fnatic here is he's going to get level 6 and he's not going to stay in this lane right now because he wants to gank. And do you think Admiral Bulldog should just take advantage of this situation and play passive in the lane, just stay here, go into pushing mode? Or do you think he should be kind of in the same boat and it's like, well, as soon as I get some levels, I'm going to another lanes and try to get some ganks and kills going on?
I think he stays here and kills this tower. I don't think he really needs to try to gank another lane, and teleporting in as a Prophet, I mean, where is he going to go? He could potentially go mid, but S4 is always going to be getting his damage drained for that. And big dive on top, by the way. They are just chasing Havost, going to be forcing him to blink away. He's going to be just fine. But this is the kind of aggression that you can field when you have a tri-lane like this, where there's not really a heck of a lot of kill
Kuro
potential.
is-
Kuro's just going mad
Yeah,
mode,
yeah.
getting the staple gun right here from EGM. Loda coming in from the side. Puppy, though, he's got some conversions as well. They might be able to turn this around on Loda. He doesn't have a point into rage. He's going to have to run back by the tower. Creepwave's tanking it for the time being, so he's not going to get any tower shots from that.
That's lucky of him.
Yeah, I mean, it was fortunate that they were pushing in that hard, so he knew that he had that out plan.
Havost is so low. He's on
And he has no regen.
130 health, and he has a tango and a bottle on the way.
Yep.
Yeah. Well,
Sick.
he's going to get his bottle, and then I think things are going to be fine, but he's only level 2. I mean, that's really low level considering the tri-lane heroes are actually farther into level 2 than Havost is, pretty much. So they're going to be hitting level 3 soon, and that's when you're really going to start having some issues because Ake is going to have a point into Frostbite, and then you're going to start getting harassed by Spirit when that gets level 2. The damage output, Kuro is going to have to position so defensively in this lane that I don't know if he's going to really be able to have an impact.
It's going to be tough for him. And the thing about that is that also Frostbite you still can cast spells when you're frostbite. You can't attack. You used to be able to attack without effects, not anymore. It's irrelevant now, but you can't blink when you're frostbitten. So it's like, oh, if you feel like you're safe because you can still have the blink, no, frostbite, this allows you to blink. And that's what Queen of Pain has to be scared of. Because right now, she won't want to scale the blink. She wants to max Scream of Pain. And with that, that means a 12-second cooldown on that spell, and a pretty short range as well.
Yeah, it
so
is.
At that point, if you get a blink early, not even an aggressive blink, you just see that they're coming into you. You get open wounds, so you blink defensively right away. 12 seconds that you don't have it, maybe the Crystal Maiden and the Visage, the Elder Titan go around, but they can just punch you to death.
Yeah, you get the staple gun, man. The staple gun hits hard. Like
It's a briefcase.
really hard.
Stapler gun, yeah.
Briefcase.
It's powerful. But
Briefcase. Everyone seems to believe it's something.
it's not a briefcase, though. I mean,
To me, it's a piece of Stonehenge.
yeah, that's probably closer than a briefcase because a briefcase is like a little handle with a big box,
That's
right?
exactly what
But
it is.
that's-
Look at it.
but it's
a
not.
It is. Look at it. Look
No,
at
it's
that.
the opposite of that.
It's a huge handle.
No, he's holding the handle. Look.
Yeah, but
Just there.
there's like
And there's a
nothing in it.
huge
What do you
box.
put in that
It's
briefcase?
the briefcase.
Something that's shaped like that.
Like
A
what?
giant
It's
letter
a
C.
giant C.
A boomerang. A staple gun.
He's an Australian Elder Titan.
You know what? This is like Pyrian. I don't know.
Whatever
what
you
want
wanna
to
put in there, it's a
I'm
briefcase.
sorry, that's just not like
Okay.
not a staple gun. Or it is a staple gun. It's not a briefcase.
Okay.
That's what I meant to say.
I'm sure that the Elder Titan has a staple gun. It doesn't feel very canon.
But do you
I
see
have an
how he
idea for-
uses
There's
it?
no
Like,
staples
who
in
takes a
Dota 2?
briefcase, holds it like this, and then
Him!
goes punch?
He's Elder Titan. He does what the heck
he's
he likes.
stapling the person.
No. There's no staples in Dota.
No, but okay, I have this idea for
Yeah.
you. Go to whoever briefcase designer you prefer.
Okay.
Show them this. Tell them to do
Make-
100.
Right.
See how many you can sell.
How many I can sell?
Yeah, if
I'll
they
sell
can
all
s- if
100.
they can sell-
Challenge accepted.
He's gonna like give people money to buy the briefcase. He's gonna be like, "I'll give you $20 to buy this $15
But I can't
briefcase."
use this. What
What do I?
the
What do I?
Imperial
what do I
Flags
do?
Elder
I don't
Titan briefcase.
know,
I
man.
guarantee you, if I made a briefcase shaped like this and put them on the internet, I bet I could sell 100 of them.
Okay, what if it's not you, but John Doe selling those
Yeah, like what if
briefcases?
people don't know who you are and then you're trying to sell them? Because maybe the 100 people.
Then good luck.
Maybe there's 100 people who are watching right now who would be like, you know what, for Pyrian, just
I
to
would
make his
totally
point,
buy that
I
briefcase.
would buy that.
They might do.
Unbelievable.
He looks
it
like he needs
It
the
would have
money.
a glowy. If you look at it, it's kind of got glowy, shimmery jewels on it. It's like, yeah,
It's like bling on your briefcase.
yeah.
It's like Nicki Minaj's
Older
briefcase.
Louis
if she had
Vuitton,
one.
pay attention.
Elder Titan.
Yes. All right, so I want to talk about Razor for a second because we're looking at his. Well, I'm looking at
Well,
the
you
screen.
are a little bit
guys, and
unshapable.
no one else can see it. Only we can see it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're looking at it right now. He's gone for the 0-2-2 build. He doesn't have any points in the plasma field.
Yeah.
Now, for me, I think the most points you ever put in to the passive is 1 in the early game.
In the early game.
Yeah, and then you make sure that you just go 4-4-1 because the movement speed bonus that you get is sufficient enough to where you can chase down anyone, especially when you start with boots, and you know that a Viper is not going to be starting boots, right? So you just link, you play aggressively in the lane, you max out your nuke for when you start actually fighting in the side lane because Plasma Field wrecks low HP supports, even Prophet.
Yes.
He went phase boots, and you're against the CM as well. So I'm kind of questioning the idea of just going like full passive, no nuke.
Well, the question is, there's a point in Corrosive's skin on the Viper, which means he will take a little bit less damage, and he will also, every time you get a plasma field, is that enough of a reason not to go for a plasma field?
No, not in my opinion, because the whole laning presence that you get from Razor anyway is you're always going to max static link no matter what. Like every matchup, you're going to be maxing that ability. So you don't get harass from anything else but just walking into him. You don't need to do damage because he's going to be zoned from the creep wave anyway. So in my opinion, what you do is you just go 4-4-1, obviously max link, and then max plasma field, and then go for team fights because that way you'll have an opportunity to do more in the mid game, which I feel like Dendi as a player, he gets his mid game from his early game. You know, like he wins his lane really hard, and then he goes into the mid game with an advantage. But I don't think that's enough on a hero like Razor because Razor needs everything in his arsenal to make sure he stays ahead. Because if you don't get ahead on Razor, then you don't have a comeback. It's just too much.
I have a secret for you.
A secret. Okay.
Talk to Dandy. It's actually his secret to me, but you're not going to tell anyone, are you?
No.
I'm not going to tell it.
We'll vault it. We'll put it in the vault.
He told me he hates playing Razor.
Really?
Yeah. He doesn't like the hero.
I don't really
Whoa.
like.
Like, I can totally
get
see
that. Yeah, I get
mean,
that.
that doesn't mean that he won't play it or that he doesn't play it well. Of course he does.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you can play a hero well and still not enjoy playing with that hero. I think, I know you hate playing Lifestealer,
I do.
and you are a very good Lifestealer.
It's boring. Like, I'm going to hit creeps. I'm going to hit creeps. Oh, there's a hero. I'm going to hit him. I'm going to hit some more creeps. It's like whenever I play Lifestealer, I go the gamiest possible build. You know, Shadow Blade, Orchid, Blink Dagger, Abyssal Blade, and you just like, you don't want to farm because that hero can do so much.
Right.
So that's why I hate him, because everyone's like, no, you got to stay in your lane and hit creeps. Like, no, I want to hit heroes.
Have you guys seen what the chat is about during the pause, by the way?
No,
The
I haven't.
Alliance have said.
Look, we're trying to talk about the game, man.
Well, this is the game.
Oh, I thought you meant like...
No, the chat, if you look up here, then Alliance are discussing if Dendi and Havost are swapping accounts.
Could be, man. Well, I originally thought that they were going to do that anyway, like player-wise, not swap accounts, of course, but have different players on the heroes.
They're only
but
joking, by the way.
They saw the last pick Viper, and then they were like, oh yeah, we should probably not put Queen of Pain versus that because it's a bit harder.
Yeah. Dendi's having a few internet problems. But
well, two people are actually.
Well, yeah, Havost as well, but yeah.
That's why they.
That's why they think they're.
You know what else is really funny
Go on, then.
in the situation is that there was a Reddit post yesterday saying that they need to get chairs for the studio. It's like
Yeah,
people thought
we
we were
have
standing.
chairs, guys.
They thought we were standing the entire time. It's like, no. We have chairs.
We
so.
would not put up with that.
So here's an idea.
Okay, I'm ready.
They were playing. Dendi was like, I don't like Razor. Akubas was like, I love
love Razor.
I love Razor. I was like, okay, let's disconnect. I'll go to your house. You come to mine.
How far away do they live?
400 kilometers.
Okay.
That's like 250 miles.
Yeah, that's like we're gonna be here for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We gotta be better time
like
fillers.
So
4
they're
hours.
like, we're going to go into each other's house and play the heroes that we actually like to play.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that whole idea, because if we get to sit here for 2 hours, we're probably going to get into horoscopes again, and we all know how that ends.
When did we talk about horoscopes? Did I miss
Well,
out
not
on this?
we.
No,
it was
yeah,
like
you
I
last,
see. I'm not
last
involved.
DreamHack.
I'm not
Yeah.
involved.
DreamHack summer.
Yeah.
You guys
it
talked
was
about horoscopes.
16 hours.
I'm an
of-
Aries.
Maybe not 16, but it was more than
it
12.
was like 14, I think.
Yeah.
Give or
It's a
take.
load of
So
garbage.
we had to
Jesus.
stretch, and I was like, what star sign are you?
Are you a big fan of that kind of stuff, Bruno?
No, but
No,
we needed to
but
feel
they
tired, and
needed
it was 14
something.
hours into the game.
And
I was
people
out of
apparently loved it
energy.
in my
But we
my
were talking
headset.
about like black holes
like-
and stuff yesterday. Like that was actually
But no.
educational.
No. That's physics.
It doesn't need to be educational.
That's not
man.
astrology. Astronomy and astrology.
Oh,
kind
you were
of
talking about
similar-
astronomy.
Black holes are astronomy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like that's
And-
more interesting than astrology.
So are
and,
horoscopes.
yeah, and the other
I realize
time
there's
we
a difference between Libra and a black hole. Like I get that.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Excellent.
Oh, but I mean, is it really?
What?
Is there a difference?
Yeah.
What is the difference?
Well, there's a huge difference.
Okay.
You can't print a black hole in the newspaper, but you can print a horoscope.
I'll buy a newspaper that had black hole in it.
Yeah. Do you want to buy a suitcase? I'm making a range of suitcases.
How are they? Please describe them to me.
They're great. You could fit anything in it. That's
I think you could actually put like a thermos in the front. Like there's that
It's
little.
like a funky lunchbox.
It's like a carrier for your drink carrier.
Yeah. The Elder Titan lunchbox.
So you have
Open it
the
up,
lunch in the
thermos in front,
bottom.
Lunch goes in there. It's kind of you could
Cold.
put a banana
Oh,
in there.
okay, I see. Something like
It's
cold drink here
compartmentalized. Yeah.
and hot drink there.
See? Now you're thinking how I'm thinking.
I don't really like that we're entertaining this idea of an Elder Titan briefcase. I don't see any use for it. It's troublesome. There is actually one more game-related thing
Yes.
that I wanted to bring up.
Really?
And yeah,
I
I
thought
mean,
we were out of those.
it's like, no, I could go all day. You kidding me? This is
come
like
on.
this is my thing.
Should.
This is like thinking about what I want to talk about during the game while we're in a pause. But
Okay.
I want to bring up one more thing really quick, in that when you're looking at a team like Alliance and their particular lineup, I think you had mentioned this a little bit earlier, but they have the potential to just push super hard, right?
Right.
Like it's really reminiscent to what Fnatic had yesterday when they had the Exort Invoker and have heroes that can push behind it. You have Plague Wards, you have all this stuff, where NaVi don't really have that. They have an Enigma, which is okay, but I think Alliance, if they take a couple of early game team fights, doesn't really matter if S4 does that well, because once those fights happen, they're going to get towers, where I think NaVi, they might have to accomplish a bit more.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I agree.
Wait, can I pretend to be James for a minute?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. We're just going to thank you, everybody, for watching the ASUS ROG DreamLeague. And we're going to take a short break. We'll be right back. Thank you, Bruno and Andy.
It's time to extend your domination. Extend your command precision with an 8200 DPI Pro Aim R3 laser sensor. Extend your atmospherics with a fully customizable 4 LED multicolor lighting system with effects. Extend the life and accuracy of your gaming with the Rocket Titan wheel, the Cone XTD Max Customization Gaming Mouse.
Tell me lies so easily. They fall out your mouth as you speak. Keep falling down. I don't wanna play your silly games, but I know that I can't change who you are. Now I know you made me lose control. You took my mind. You took my mind. Now I know you made me lose control. You took my mind. You took my mind.
Welcome back to the ASUS ROG Dream League coverage. James is joining us now. James, are you going to give
Hi,
us
James.
some questions from Twitter?
Well, I don't know, really. I'm not sure what I'm meant to do. I've
Okay.
lost all identity on the show as I'm not a host. Funny thing is, when we put this together, I actually recommended we could have you as a host. And then I gave you the option, and you were like, no, I just want to watch the games
Yeah.
and be a fan. And I was like, fuck, now I have to host.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've come back. Obviously, Andy and
No
Period,
Dondo.
you're in front of the game, right?
Yeah,
Yep,
we're
we're staring at the
looking at
game
it.
as we
All right,
speak.
and then I suggested, that maybe we could take some questions from Twitter and see what people want to tweet at us.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
What at should they
Well, the
tweet
thing
that
is,
at?
I need Bruno to be in charge of it because even though I have an expensive piece, but well worth the price, ASUS piece of equipment, I don't know what it does.
Okay. You don't know how to work it.
I don't. I
Right.
really don't. I couldn't turn it on yesterday. I had to get
Dendy's
Swift
back.
to turn
Dendy's
it on.
back.
Dendy's
You're
back.
safe.
Oh,
You're
thank
out.
God for that. So if you want
This
to...
is like even worse now because now you don't even get your little bit with Twitter. Now you just have to go.
No, I just tweet things and then we'll
Yeah.
read them.
there is a Twitter for the league, though, isn't there?
There is one.
We should definitely have known this before we went live on the show, I feel.
We're going
Yes.
back now to the game. James.
So if you
Yeah,
go
you
on
said-
Twitter and just
I still want to know that
go
tw-
to
that tweet-
Google and Google like
Yeah.
ASUS
I
ROG
think it's-
Dream League
yeah,
Twitter.
Yeah,
and you
go
will
there.
find me.
My head won't be in the game when we go in.
Yes.
That's okay, James. We'll sing tales of your valor here at the desk.
I'm off down the pub.
Goodbye,
Let me know
friend.
how it goes.
All right.
I'll be back to do some great post-game analysis.
Bring us something.
Peace.
Excellent. All right, well, we're back in the game, guys.
Women are hard to carry back to the studio, Bruno, but I'll give it my best shot.
Awesome.
So,
So,
game.
The game.
4 minutes into it. Though it seems a little bit longer.
Well, we've been sitting here for a while, so I would imagine it would feel a bit longer. Oh, close.
Oh,
Blinks into
no.
the river. Doesn't actually get
Deny
anything
that
done to
rune.
him. Deny the rune from Dendy.
How important is a bottle for a Razor?
Oh,
I
run
think it's not really as important as it is for most heroes,
Well-
but he really wants Ake. He's got 6 wand charges. He also has a Tango, going to eat the tree, trying to run through. Dendy needs one more hit. Oh, the wand charge saved him, and the Shadow Strike wore off, so now he's able to
Nice.
salve on
Body
body
blocks.
block by EGM. What a player.
Nice.
Such block.
That
Such
should have been
wow.
a first blood by
It should have
any.
been, yeah.
Oh, Loda, is he okay in going so far? Now he's
He missed quite a bit for that, I
yeah.
think. He walked all the way
He's
from his
investing
lane.
a lot right now. He's like, well, and Dendy is super fast.
We just
because-
need like Pink Panther music on right now because he's just like. Da, da,
Where's he
da,
going?
Da, da. Yeah, he's
Just
he's
going
gonna
for a
be
little
fine.
walk.
What about going back to the passive thing, going for 2 points in passive just to be super fast?
Yeah,
and
but
getting
it's only
those
3%. Or no, it's 4 actually. I still don't know if that's worth it because that's what, like 10, 15 move speed per rank,
Mm-hmm.
give or take. So it doesn't really seem that good. S4, he's getting his damage drained, and Dendy sits there and attacks creeps. I thought they might go for that. Maybe he just couldn't get the stun because Puppy doesn't have boots. Yeah,
If
okay.
Puppy had sent the Eidolons to tank the tower, maybe?
Oh, and first blood.
Oh,
Bottom lane.
hello.
Fnatic. He finds Admiral Bulldog, and that's actually really strange because a Clockwork is a hero who has a very hard time first blooding a Prophet just because of Treants. If you pop Battery Assault and Treants are out, it essentially does no damage at all. So Fnatic getting the outplay there, finding a first blood on, I think, one of the best heroes to first blood, because if a Prophet has a bad start, it becomes infinitely harder to try to find any type of split push. And Puppy has made his transition down here too, so they're looking to just make his life awful. But I think that ward from Alliance might have seen him.
Also, he's just feeding these trees to Fnatic as well. I think he's now realised it and he's moving them away. Do you suppose he caught him at the shop or something? Because Fnatic had
He must have.
Fnatic hadn't even taken any damage.
Yeah, he must have caught him in a really bad position. And EGM
EGM,
sitting behind the
speaking of
tower.
bad
There's
positions.
no one else here, though. It's just Kuroki. So He's not going to be able to get the kill. Bulldog just decides to abandon the lane, comes top. They're going to be pushing the safe lane tier 1, and likewise, NaVi have already made the transition over here themselves, so it's going to be a tier 1 potentially for a tier 1 trade, but Alliance have the edge in terms of how much damage they've already dealt to the towers, so they're going to be getting the tower kill first. I don't know if they plan on TP reacting here. I already see Ake is making his way towards bottom.
And I think NaVi can't really push this tower.
Yeah, and Havos is going to be dying as well. So ultimate from Bulldog secures the kill. Dendi is going to be dropping to Viper. And now the kill score is actually 2-1 in favor of Alliance.
Seems to be kind of the game that Alliance wants in this early part of it. We were talking about whether Admiral Bulldog would just stay in the lane or just go to gank. He did neither. He went top, but not to gank, to just push that other tower. That gives a little bit of space to Fnatic, but it also forces a rotation of Loda and the other guys as well. So Loda is now in the safe lane, where he should have been from the beginning if you knew that you were going against a
Fnatic forced to defensively cog straight away. Ake still has a frostbite. Here comes a teleport in for Bulldog, and this is going to be a free... No! Oh, man!
So close.
That was really close. It seemed like days between Loda's auto attacks there. I'm like, it's been a while since he's hit him.
God.
Yeah, close though.
I thought he was out then. I really thought he was out.
So now we see Genty dive mid before.
Yeah.
Fnatic
And so did Host.
Yeah, and Fnatic dive bottom twice.
Yep.
What about Havos and his Queen of Pain? Do you think that something can come out of it? Because that's not a Havos hero. That's like, it's very mobile. It can do a lot, but at the same time, it's not a hard carry.
It's not a hard carry, but it's an active hero, which I think Havos does well with. Middle lane, S4, he's going to get caught out. Here comes the Malefice. Static Link is going to be there. Teleport coming in. They just dropped the black hole. Ake actually lets the TP go. It could be a 2 for none right here, and there we go. Double kill for Dendi. And that's pretty important. Oh, the ultimate snipes Puppy in middle. Bulldog once more. He's going to get 2. He's still got phase boots. Is he going to be able to get the third EGMs here with the Spirit? It's a triple for Bulldog.
Wow.
Brilliant turnaround. That ultimate was huge. And that's a full Midas. And he has 900 gold after the fact at 8 minutes in. So phase, Midas, 1,000 gold. We talked about how giving away the first blood was bad. I think he's recovered.
Yeah, and that's the thing about the Nature's Prophet as well. If you decide to go Midas, once you get that, you start farming at an insane amount of speed. Once you get level 11, where you can kind of not spam on cooldown the ultimate, but use it whatever you want it. So it's really, really fun for them to have that in the hero. Right now, it seems to be Alliance's game.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
the thing that will happen, well, if you look at the gold graph, you will see what we mean by Alliance's game right now. And what seemed to be a very good teamfight for NaVi ends up being a kind of a disaster. And Admiral Bulldog, I think he can push this middle lane now if he wants to.
Well, he doesn't really have any health or mana.
He can, come on.
I don't know if he stays here. And that's one of those situations where I really question not having Plasma Field. Because if they were able to get those kills faster, if he gets those 2, they take far less damage. Maybe they don't commit so hard to where Bulldog is able to TP in and get 3 kills. You just want to get in and out, especially against Prophet. You don't want to have to stay around and take so much damage, and then teleports can just end your life more or less. So we'll see how NaVi continues to play this one out. But it's only 9 minutes in. And we've seen the first tower of the game drop in favor of Alliance. They have a 3-kill lead right now. It's definitely them controlling the majority of the map. And I'm kind of on the same page with you with Havost. His performance so far, again, he was against a tri-lane, so it's really hard for him to do anything in that situation. But he needs time before even he's going to be able to contribute.
The question is here, I mean, normally when we see Queen of Pains, we see 2 kind of builds. One that is very int high in terms of going Orchid, going Shipstick, and going items that help utility, or going kind of the right clicker way, where you get either a Desolator or an MKV. What do you think Havos should go for here in this game?
I think he kind of wants a BKB. The Earth Splitter going to be off the mark. Fnatic lands the hook. Here come the cogs. Denny's here as well. Should be an easy kill. Ake is here. And Fnatic, he's going to get frozen. Does Bulldog want to teleport for this? I believe he does have it off cooldown, and they're going to continue to chase. The ultimate is popped by Bulldog. No teleport, though. Not going to go for the kill. And I think they might have been able to go on that because there's no tier 1 there.
I mean, still, Dendi is insanely fast. And there's always cogs to save your bones. But I mean, at this point, NaVi has to take anything they can. And Alliance can allow themselves to say, okay, you got that one. We will still get some farm of Loda. Remember, there are 2 Midases there.
Yeah.
So Alliance is not scared into going for the late game.
Do you think, by the way, because I know we were talking yesterday about greedy lineups and stuff. Do you think that now that it's like, okay, we were 6-3 up, we've got a tower, you know, we're doing pretty well. Now we'll get Midas's because it was that triple kill where he just bought the Midas. And do you think that by delaying it just a little bit, you get to see how the game's playing out before you commit to it?
Well, to me, Midas is one of those items that you never plan for. I mean, you're not, oh, this game, 0 minutes into the game, I'm going Midas this game. It's one of those items where if...
Kuro. Soul
is
Assumption,
completely gone. He's
Grave
really
Chill's
fast.
going to get him away. Loda, he walks up to the high ground. Going to eat a Malphus, has 3 points in a rage. Should be able to secure this kill no matter what. And yeah, Kuro doesn't really have a chance here. Puppey's still around, has conversions out. Going to hear a link on Ake, who is running for his life. Gets frozen. Still going to be able to chase down, though. That damage, man.
That really hurts.
I really don't think
Loda,
that
run away.
Alliance want to try
I
to
don't think
commit to this anymore. Hook shot going to be off the mark. Fnatic misses, but he's got a haster, and he's going to run right into S4. Throws at the cogs, but there's no one else here helping him. Fnatic's taking quite a bit of damage. Bulldog TP's down. Dandy, in the meantime, picks up a double kill as he kills off Loda, but they do lose Fnatic. Ultimately, better trade for NaVi. No doubt about that. Bulldog's going to be making his way back towards bottom, and a very weird split fight there. An interesting decision by Fnatic.
He went there hoping for his friends because you can't 1v1 a Clockwork, a Viper as a Clockwork.
Yeah.
Viper can still attack between your battery assaults, and the weaker you are, the more damage the Viper will do to you. So he had to have someone there, but because of this split fight of Dandy just being annoying somewhere else, Alliance had to divide their attentions, and it kind of worked out weird, but, well, they kill Loda, which is
now they've got
important.
Razor up in this top lane, and Quap kind of wandering bot. So what's going on with the lanes and the heroes here?
Well, the laning phase kind of broke down really early because as soon as the tier 1 dies for NaVi in the safe lane, there's no reason keeping the support in that area. So Kuro starts moving around a bit because there's nothing to defend.
Weren't you saying they shouldn't call it the safe lane anymore, Draskell?
Well,
was that a conversation I was having with you
I don't think
earlier?
it was me.
That must have been Wagger then.
I don't know if it's all that safe just because of the way that people are playing nowadays. We saw Alliance just field an aggressive tri-lane, and that's one of those situations where you have to just concede that you're not going to get much out of the lane, hope that your jungler does well. And Puppey is level 8, so he's almost got his mech done. He's only a couple hundred away from that. And once he gets up the mech, they'll be able to field some pretty decent pushes, I think, more or less. And then you have NaVi, who are still in the game, but Alliance, double Midas. Bulldog is doing phenomenally well. He's got 72 creep kills right now and 2,600 gold to his name.
Can you say that there's a late game plan for NaVi, or they can't get to late game? Because you look at them, and their strong heroes are Queen of Pain and Razor. Two heroes that do not shine particularly well into late game. Razor is really good if you get a refresher for pushing. But in terms of team fighting, he doesn't have any ability that scales.
Yeah, I think you're definitely right about that. And the later the game goes, you're going to be dying faster, actually, against a team like Alliance. And Viper doesn't have to worry about physical damage output. The only person who's ever going to get linked is Loda. And how do you link Loda if he's inside somebody like Bulldog? So I do think that late game Alliance are going to have the advantage here. NaVi are definitely fighting the uphill battle. And a Queen pretty much has to go a semi-carry build here. I don't think you can go things like Aghanims and get away with it just because Loda's going to be so far ahead of him that he'll never be a threat to Loda if he goes somewhat of a magic type build.
And now there's a Shadow Blade on the Admiral Bulldog.
Yeah.
So with that, he can split push even safer.
His farm is ridiculous, man. It's 12 minutes in.
Yeah, it feels longer because we've had the pauses and the disconnects, but yeah, he's got a net worth of nearly 7,000 at 12.5 minutes, well, 13 minutes. That's crazy.
That's the power
That's
of
like
nature's
the Hanny yesterday on the Invoker when we had, what, did he have an Orchid at 12 minutes?
He had Orchid and Shreds at 12 minutes. But the interesting thing is Bulldog actually has more farm than that. So it's 1,900 for the Midas, and Shadow Blade is 3,000, and then Phase Boots are 1,350.
Is it 3,300? I think,
No.
isn't it? The Shadow Blade?
No.
Shadow Blade's just 3,000.
1,600 and 1,400.
Yeah.
I'm just going to check that.
Yep.
Yeah,
Well, you don't believe me.
Well, I'm just checking.
You don't believe
Shame
me,
on
Fury.
you.
That's
Wrong?
like my
Believe in
favorite
trust.
item in the game, and you're going to, well, besides drums.
Bongos.
Yeah, bongos
Yeah,
are
I
definitely
love
my
the
favorite
bongos,
item.
man.
But
What is it with you and drums? What's so good about them?
they're the most
Sell
stat
'em to
efficient
me.
item in the game.
The most what efficient?
Stat efficient. In
Okay.
terms of one inventory slot for the cost, they're the best item in the game for how much stats you get. I mean, the next best thing is an ultimate orb, and that's
Right.
2,100 gold for one more stat, less attack speed and less movement speed. And
Seems
no
like you've
on-use.
done your math on this.
Yeah.
Dude, I
almost like
have
it's
to
his
defend
job.
bongos to people all the
I
time.
buy drums on pretty much
Because
every
I buy them and
character
people are
I
like,
play,
oh,
I
if you make drums, it's so boring. But I usually go drums into like Blink or something exciting to help kill people.
Right.
Fair enough.
Drums own.
Yeah.
I'm just asking you to sell it for the viewers at home.
No, I feel like
I'm
I
a
needed to
convert.
sell it to you because
No,
your
dude.
opinion to me is the only one that matters.
Oh, thanks, Andy.
What about me?
Well, Well,
tell you mean that.
Bruno already likes drums, so I
We're
don't,
gonna
I
have,
like
we're gonna
drums.
have
I don't
a
really
Roche
have to
fight
sell
here.
him on it. Yeah, they're going
And
for
I love
Roshan.
killing Roshan as well.
Yeah,
I think
Roshan.
it gives you an advantage into the game when you're kind of not having that advantage. And again, question, this is the dire advantage as well a little bit, but will it be an advantage when the Alliance knows about this?
Oh, they know.
The thing is, Puppey has a black hole.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that ultimate definitely makes them know. And look at
Ow.
how
Look
much
at the
damage
profit
that
ult.
did. That's a level 2 profit ulti.
Ouch.
Everyone on the side of Navi, even with the mech,
Yeah.
Puppey mech'd and their health is still low. Bulldog just says, yeah, they're not going for this. I'm just going to start split pushing the safe lane tier 2 because why not? And this is actually a bait. Loda hasn't come out yet. So whoever decides to come up here on the side of Navi to try to stop this, if it's one hero, that hero is dead.
Yeah, and the way they're positioning themselves, it's going to be hard for them to walk without going through mid. Well, I mean, right now, Alliance, as I say that, they just back out of mid, but they were putting pressure on the tier 2. So from Roshan, they had to TP.
Bulldog
just like
wants to get
Oh.
hooked, man. Just look at him.
Yeah,
He's
look
like,
at him
please, hook me,
pretending
please.
to be blocked by his creeps.
You don't know what's coming. Oh, EGM, he's
Puppey.
going to find Puppey in the woods here. Malith is going to be thrown up. EGM's so
EGM's
tanky.
really tanky.
1200 HP. Havos comes in from the side. I think EGM still dies here. I think his team just abandoned him. That's where he
That's
goes.
a nice ultimate.
They're going to go
Oh.
for Puppey. Earthsplitter's going to be on the mark. Black
Oh,
Hole
huge.
immediately catches 2. Fnatic, he wants to try to get the
No, that
cogs.
was
Will
rage.
trap 2. It's a mega kill streak in the meantime for Bulldog. Now Kuro taking some fire. Ultimate going to be used on Dendi. Mech is popped as well. And it's right now 2 down on the side of NaVi. It's going to be 2 for Fnatic. And now S4 is on retreat. He does not want any part of this at all. He's like, please get me the heck
Well,
out of here. He's
they're
being
stunning
chased by
birds.
birds.
No,
3
yeah,
seconds.
The
Almost.
birds are faster than him.
Dendi, he's
Should
got a
get
link
the
as
stun.
well soon. It's
Yep.
going to be a double stun. Teleport
Oh,
coming back in. It's going to be
nice.
2. This might be overcommitment. Dendi, he gets frozen. S4 turns around just for a moment.
Such a weak plasma field.
EGM is alive now. Fnatic throws out the defensive cogs. They want to retreat. Dendi taking quite a bit of damage. And the
Oh.
ultimate again from Bulldog. And he gets 2. He gets
Oh my
mid
God.
as well.
Wow.
Havos dies and Dendi both. These profit ultimates. And now he's going for Fnatic. The Sprouts there. EGM and S4 are both helping him out. It's a this is like...
That's his second
Can
triple
we just
kill.
rename Alliance to Admiral Bulldog? Like...
Really?
Him
Honestly.
getting that profit is just disgusting.
He's going to get his 3rd item before 20 minutes into the game.
Like, this is...
And Loda is like, yay, guys, I got an armlet. And he's like, no.
Look at the net worth. Like, this
Yeah.
guy is loaded.
Yeah.
The tri-lane aggressive hero in the mid are 2/3 of his net worth right now. And it's 17 minutes into the game. That's absolutely unreal. We can see a defensive Midnight Pulse here. They're trying to stop Alliance from getting this Roshan, but I think Alliance are going to get this no
There's
matter
no
what.
black hole.
EGM, maybe with a tactical feed here, they want to try to go for Puppey. Yeah, no black hole right here. Mech is going to be popped. EGM trying to run away. Kuro going to eat the Viper Strike. Puppey going to be the first one to drop. Earthsplitter going to be there as well. EGM dies on the back lines to the Scream. S4 in the meantime, he gets Kuro. Admiral Bulldog sitting here going for
Oh.
Ake, or actually trying to help Ake. Hookshot in to Ake as he falls down. Sprout going to be on Fnatic, and now Alliance, they want to retreat.
Profit ult.
Oh, I think they get Loda here. Rage going to be used.
Here it comes.
I thought he would maybe
Cool
go for the
down in the
TP. I thought he might be able to TP out, but it looks like he's just going to
It's
be
a
able to casually
75-second
walk away.
cooldown.
It felt much less.
Yeah.
Like, he got the triple kill, and the fight never finished because they went into Roshan, and then there was this,
Yeah.
and suddenly another ultimate again. These two teams really like to fight.
They do. I mean, there's 27 kills in an 18-minute game. I
That's
think
exactly
they
what I
just
wanna
feel
see.
bad that they had to pause twice, so they're just like, all right, you know what? For the audience, for the commentators, we're just
Yeah.
going to go ham.
Let's go for it.
I like that,
Necro
though.
1.
There's
And
a
they just
there's a
profit.
half-dead Roshan here.
He's got to have more money than that. That can't be all his money.
Well,
He had 26. Oh, yeah, I guess it is
Yeah,
about
it
that,
is.
isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
So once he gets that, he can actually next level and put Loda inside of one of the Necronomicons while he's pushing.
Yep.
Because everybody expects you to be inside of the Furion, but nobody
Of
expects you to
course.
be inside of one of the Necronomicon
Oh.
creeps.
Can you do that?
Yes, you
course
can
you
do
can.
that.
Oh, that's next level. In other words, I say next level, but it's just I'm too stupid to know that.
And you don't get damaged from last will if you kill your own Necro. So
Yeah.
Loda will not.
Well,
get
you don't
damaged.
kill it, you just hop out of it.
What?
You don't kill it when it's a friendly unit.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't get neck book very often. You know why?
You should.
Well, you haven't even played like 30 of the heroes.
Well,
so-
the main reason is it's just 2 more things to control, and this
Yeah.
you've got to tab and use their abilities.
Look,
But I thought
Tyrion,
Shen was your
he didn't
best
sign up for StarCraft. Okay? This isn't StarCraft, it's Dota. He wants to make sure that he doesn't have to micro anything.
Yeah, it's tough enough as it is the way I see it.
In fact, I remember a Pyrion game where he played Meepo,
Yeah.
and we won that game.
Wow.
Yeah, I have one as Meepo.
That's
I mean,
impressive.
It wasn't. I got. Yeah.
I remember 25 minutes into the game, it's like, what? If one of the guys die, all die? He said that.
But if it was 20 minutes into the game and that's when he realized it, was that the first time he died?
No,
No,
he
it's
was
just-
dying before. He was an
That's the only time I
Oh,
had
he
more
just
than one
wasn't level
meatball.
6.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
God. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
All right, well, I guess we know how well you did that game,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
No, it was all him. Like the tactical field we were talking about yesterday,
Yeah.
that was him.
Yeah.
I was playing anti-mage that game. I still remember. It was a long time ago. It was about a year ago. But yeah, and he opened up the farm for me, and I
Yeah.
think LD was
He was a
playing me.
space
I was
creator. man.
creating space. That's what it's all about, baby. I invented the space creating strat.
You know who's created space this game?
Go on.
Bulldog.
Paul
He
did.
hasn't created space. He is the
He is
entirety
the
of the
space.
game.
Everything, yeah. He is the
the
space
universe.
creator. He is the one who knocks.
He's the ever expanding universe in which we live.
98% pure. That is Admiral Bulldog. Alliance, they're positioning themselves for
They're gonna
Roshan.
go get the Roche.
I love how they're doing this because
poor
they go
Roche.
top, they
Leave
get the
him alone.
tower anyway, and then they just force Navi into a position where they have to walk all the way back. S4 now has a DD, so
Yeah.
if they fight around the pit, I think that Alliance are perfectly fine with this.
Black
Well,
hole
there's a
is
black
up.
hole- yeah,
Black hole
there
is up,
is a black
but-
hole this
but
time,
He
so-
doesn't have BKB, so if he doesn't get them all, troubles.
Well, I mean, he can still not get Loda, for example,
Yeah,
and be fine. He can still not get the Viper, but those are the heroes that you can. The only hero that can realistically stop a black hole right now is a Crystal Maiden.
Yep.
Yeah.
Look at that guy. That is a ballsy Necro Archer. Just walk past everybody.
Fair.
In they go. Leave Roche alone!
No, we want to kill that big guy.
Guy!
Navi needs it. Like, Alliance would be better off with it, but Navi actually needs it.
Yeah.
If they don't get Roshan, I mean, Host doesn't even have his Orchid yet. It's like 21 minutes into the game, and this was a safe lane Queen of Pain.
Oh.
Hookshot gonna find Loda in the river. He is here all by himself. Why didn't he just TP?
Yeah,
Because
no
he's gonna
point.
walk up to
Maybe
his
he's
friends
not
and
gonna
start a
die.
fight.
Earth Splitter gonna be off the mark. He still can't do anything though because he has absolutely
The
no
ultimate,
damage.
look at Puppy, he's so low now.
Yeah!
And Puppy is just like hunching over here. Havos blinks in really aggressively, doesn't throw out the ultimate onto S4. Mech was used as well there.
Yeah. And
EGM
that was-
walking back in, throws out the Spirit.
In meantime, Bulldog is like, you know what? I'm gonna push my tier team
Yeah.
tower.
Well, Loda's still in the area, but he's pretty weak. And now Navi have to decide between, do we try to contest Roshan? Do we push out the top
don't think they can.
lane? Like, they're just getting absolutely pulled apart here.
Yeah.
And a lot of this, again, is Bulldog, but we also have to consider that EGM and Ake have been everywhere they needed to be as well. Like, they know exactly what kind of game style that they've adopted here, and they're always making sure that they're taking the engagements and ensuring that Bulldog can get the most out of his game. And I think that's what makes Alliance such a great team, because when somebody's doing well, they play around the guy who's doing well. And this time, it's Admiral Bulldog.
It must be a really nice feeling as well as a player. It's like, yeah, this is my game actually.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, like yesterday, was S4's game.
Yeah.
The game they won. The game
Yeah,
they lost,
yeah.
it was no one's. But S4 was in that bad rider.
He was almost spiteful with that Batrider too, right? Like he was
You know what, G? I'm going to make you feel the pain that I felt.
And it's like, but I didn't do anything to you. It was Honey. Mind, you're the surrogate Honey this game. I'm gonna get you. But yeah, this time it's Bulldog.
There's the Orchid.
He's got a book 3
The
already. too.
22.5-minute Orchid now on.
There's got to be like
on
some stats on how farmed somebody is. He's 12,600 net worth
Yeah.
at 22 minutes into the game.
That's a lot of gold. And you were talking about 22 minutes Orchid. Like normally when you see a farmer Orchid, normally it's a Clinks.
Mm-hmm.
You see that 12, 13
Oh,
minutes into
Puppy.
the game.
He's over here by himself. Admiral Bulldog going for the cutoff. Going to throw out
Oh,
the sprout.
nice
Blocks him
block.
on the hill. Puppy is like, welp.
I'm not using my
Touche,
black hole for
Admiral
this.
Bulldog. He pops the book. Maybe they just go straight for the tier 2 tower, I suppose.
Oh.
Familiars were here. TP out
Yeah.
also by
Visage
Kuro.
ran away.
And look at the timing now. It's like, and this lane is all pushed up just beautifully, so they can get that kill. They don't have to worry about black hole, and they can come and get this this tier 2.
Watch out, Kavos. He's going to get the tower. Maybe not. Oh,
Wow,
Wow.
that damage.
wow.
That damage.
Oh.
Ake was there.
I know he could blink and he had the time, but I mean, human reaction, right?
Oh, hook shot. Funnick on EGM in the bottom lane. Denny's going to teleport in. I love how EGM just always throws his Earth Splitter right away. He's just like, please don't kill me. I'll make the Earth split under your feet. That's how I defend myself. I just want to...
Well, realistically, he can't do much else. I mean, pops the spirit, and the stomp takes like 5 seconds to actually stomp someone, so...
EGM always the resident Alliance feed. He's 0-4 and 7. I mean, Ake is 0-4, but he's got more assists, so that means that he's not feeding.
I think he... Knowing EGM, he plays really, really well. He's one of my favorite players in
Yeah, of
Alliance.
course.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's a spectacular support. It's just fun to pick on him.
I'm having my theory that he actually feeds for fun to make life
game
harder
harder.
for his team. Yeah. Like,
He's like, hey, guys,
You know what
remember
you're
that
talking
kill
like-
streak that I had?
Yeah.
Give it to the other team.
You know, we were talking about how everyone plays for the guy that's doing well. And I can imagine like Loda, yeah, Bulldog, come, farm my lane, like I'll give you my crepes. And I feel it's like, I'm gonna push and just pressure Roshan so you can split push. And EGM's like, lol, I'm feeding.
Bulldog's like, guys, I'm gonna get the tier 3. EGM just dies in their base for some reason. I was like, what? Well, middle lane, Havos blinks in onto EGM. Orchid gonna be there as well. Maleficent onto Ake. Here comes a hook shot from Fnatic. It's a double ulti coming out from Havos. EGM, he's gonna be dropping first. This could be the fight that Navi needed. S4 has to retreat. Ake, not dead just yet. Dendy just realizes, I gotta hit him again. Bulldog actually gets Fnatic on the high ground. Dendy chasing down poor Crystal Maiden. Blinking from Havos to get the kill. Puppey, he's in trouble middle lane. He's realized now that his carries have all but left him. Kuro now gonna have to retreat here. Yeah, and Bulldog didn't actually die there. He just soloed Fnatic with his book and decided, yeah, I'm just going to run. Both my carries are chasing a Crystal Maiden. Everything's fine. Sprout
they
here
chased a little
on the high ground. They're going to get the birds.
Gold.
Birds are dicks, man.
Yeah.
All birds?
Yeah, like every single bird.
Wow, that's harsh.
It's profiling, but
what
it's
about
true.
big birds?
Well, I mean, I would imagine.
He's pretty cool, right?
What about Tweety?
Tweety
the canary from
Tweety
the old.
Pie.
Well, if he wasn't a dick, he wouldn't be getting chased all the time now, would he?
Yeah, what, Sylvester's okay in your book?
I'm more of a cat man than a bird man.
Okay.
Well, I'm a dog man first, then
Right.
a cat man, then a bird man.
You're the cat man, dog man,
What
bird
kind
man.
of animal are? What's your spirit animal?
Oh,
Korea?
God. Somebody asked me this the other day.
Mine's a spider bear. Like, I'm not even kidding. It's
spider
a
bear?
spider bear.
What
That
is a
me.
spider bear?
It's a bear
with six
with spider
arms?
features.
What?
No, it just
No,
has
no,
like
you can say that. You can't say
A bear with spider
it's
features?
a
No,
lion
because it
with
has
lizard
4
features.
legs, right? It's covered in fur,
But is it like
but it has a spider face.
8 bear arms?
Yeah, imagine a giant tarantula head just slammed onto a bear. That's my spirit animal.
Does
How
it
did
have
you
like
come up
8
with that?
There's some survey that you take on some of these sites, and they just like find out your spirit animal. And I was
Wow.
bored of my stream one day. Meantime,
Nice
hook shot
hook.
here onto Ake. Funnic's gonna find him.
Well,
Another
this time
kill.
it took them less time to kill him.
Yeah, I mean, he died really fast that time.
So
I think both Havost and Dendy were kind of like, yeah, I think he's dead. And then they just didn't chase him at all. And Ake was like, oh, okay.
Okay,
I'm cool with this.
I can survive now.
yeah, that was a bad chase.
So, boss, right now, we were talking about how he had to go for kind of a carry build. He went
Yeah.
was going for the BKB. He was like, oh well,
He kind of
Orchid.
needs it.
and now Orchid BKB. Is that enough to kill Loda, like in a 1v1 situation?
I like Orchid against Lifestealer because typically he won't go for BKB, and obviously he hasn't this game. He's just gone for the SNY. Because if you jump in with an Orchid and you get a good link, the Lifestealer is going to be out of the fight for sure.
Yeah.
If you kill him, that's great. But if you don't, he can't come back in until at least the link wears off. And that's a lot of downtime and a lot of damage lost if you're on the side of Alliance. And that's more or less how they've been taking the fights. So I still think it's okay. And it's a nice mix between physical damage, getting mana regen, and also having utility in the item. I think it's a much better choice than something like Aghanims. I don't think that would have given him much at all. And Hex is more expensive.
Yep.
Even though it is the better item, it's harder to get.
And especially as a first item as well. You normally don't see players going for Shipstick before anything else, just because the build-up is so expensive. And once you get that Mystic stuff, you're in the same place you were before.
Yeah.
Plus 25 intelligence. What does that do to you? A little bit more mana?
Some right click, yeah. It's not a good build-up at all, unless you get it at like 16 or 17 minutes, which is about the fastest you're ever going to get. That's with like First Blood, absolute free farm, and like a tower. You can get one at 16 minutes in. But obviously that's not the case for him here. And now Puppey is making his way towards a halberd, which I think is another really nice choice. Even just stopping S4 from auto-attacking at this stage is going to be pretty darn good. And speaking of him, he's got an Aghanims. So, Pyrian, we got the artillery cannon Viper.
Yeah. You know, I was just watching Admiral Bulldog here, and his ult. He
Dendy.
uses his ult just for team
Dendy,
fights.
Spirit for Vision.
He's
He
still
doesn't
too
get the
fast.
ultimate off. Yeah, it's a race car.
I was just going to say, if you look at Admiral Bulldog, like when I play Nature's Prophet, I use my ult every chance I get because it gives me loads of money, right? And I
Yeah.
like it. He uses it, he saves it for team fights, and it's way better. So I'm going to
Yeah.
start doing that.
That's actually a really good thing to bring up for a lot of people who like Nature's Prophet, because when you're playing with a team, like say you're playing with your friends or whatever, and you know, hey, I'm going to gank this lane, just use your ultimate. And when you use it, don't click it on the heroes. That's
Yeah.
the worst way to use it, because it does the least amount of damage.
You click on
Always
the other
ult
side
on
of
the
the map.
opposite side of the map.
Yeah.
Ideally, there are creeps that are going to hit first, because the ulti will always hit heroes as long as you use it. So it's a very, very nice thing
Will
to
it?
remember. Yeah.
I
well,
thought
not,
if there
if
were
it has enough
like,
bounces,
if there,
it will hit the
exactly,
hero.
yeah. If there are lots of creeps for some reason, you might survive.
Sometimes it might not. Loda, he's going to get an Alphas here. Havos doesn't go for the Orchid.
He doesn't want to use the Rage, and that's clever. Right now, you used to be able to use the Rage for everything because you'll have it back up just for the next time. But now with a new cooldown,
19 seconds, man.
it's a little bit too much. You know that if you pop the Rage, they will chase you because for about 13 seconds, which is the remainder of the duration, you are pretty much a walking creep.
That's a good point. And that
So-
makes it so you have to know, like you commit straight away, right? Like you want the kill, you have to get the kill, otherwise you're just in I can't really hit anybody mode, which is also why you see items like SNY and Basher, which Loda has both of currently. So his farm is still looking to be pretty monstrous. And we talk about monstrous farm and you just have to go back to Bulldog, man. He's got a full BKB now
man.
and 2,700 gold. So for him, I'm thinking Hex is probably the next choice, just to make sure that he can add another disable to his arsenal because Puppy is not making a BKB at all. Like once they see the Sage, they're like, yeah, I can go for something else. Maybe he just goes Orchid because it's actually more right-click damage than a Hex.
And right now, with the only problem that Admiral Bulldog is facing is that 35 minutes into the game, he's going to run out of slots.
Yeah.
And without any slots, you just pick there. But I don't
Oh,
think
Havos
again?
gets caught up, but he doesn't have blink. He blinked.
Oh,
he
he
blinked
blanked.
in the woods, yeah. His blink was on cooldown, so not getting away from that one. And I don't know if they saw that because it was nighttime. I think that was just fortunate timing, actually. Or
So,
maybe they
right,
heard the
let me
blink.
ask
You can
you
hear
guys
the
a
blink in
question.
fog,
Yes.
yeah.
If you're Navi now, do you think you can still win this game? Do you think it's possible for them to still win this
Possible,
Black
yes.
hole, man.
Likely, no.
game? Right.
There's black hole. Where there's a black hole, there's a game. And I think Papi hasn't been using it that much.
But they don't have really that good of a team with a black hole. That's kind of the one thing that we haven't
I'll
really
get
brought
Black
up.
Hole with a Scream and the Razor ult.
Yeah, but it's at 31 minutes in.
Yeah.
Even the supports have almost 1,000 HP.
It would have been good
Yeah.
if they hadn't died a billion times to Nature's Prophet, I guess.
Well, the kill score is relatively even. It's just they're getting out-farmed a lot because right
But
now
he got
Alliance...
2 triple kills and a double.
Well, of course. I'm not saying Bulldog did bad. I'm just saying that Navi are under-farmed due to the
Right.
fact that they don't have a whole lot of towers. They've only killed 2. Whereas all their Adder 2 towers, the tier 3 top is dead and their Rax is under siege. They're going to be forced to glyph.
Halberd on Enigma.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's a really nice choice. You want it for heroes like S4 especially. If you use it on ranged heroes, it's 4 seconds of disarm as opposed to melee. It's only 3.
Yeah,
knowledge.
They can't do anything. I mean, Viper, yeah, he can pop his ultimate, which he will anyways. But without the right click, he
Yeah,
just
yeah.
becomes a much less threatening hero. Now they're pinging him. Havos is like, we have to stop S4 right now. We kind of want to kill S4, and then we can make a teamfight go into our favor. But I don't think that's enough right now. They have to do everything perfectly, chain all their spells, and don't get hit by that Viper strike every 5 seconds because
It hurts a lot. Yeah. It took him from 80% to below 50, so doing quite a bit of damage. Admiral Bulldog just pops the ulti to do some harassment. Funnick's like, get off my
He
building.
spits again.
Stop it.
Oh,
Oh,
well,
man, that damage. Blade mail by
Ouch.
Funnick, but S4 doesn't really take that much damage from
well,
him.
he's quite tanky right now.
Yeah,
He
Yeah,
has
he has more health than
1500.
Funnick.
Yes.
Yeah.
By far, 500 more. So now the slow siege comes. Everyone's trying to defend. Fortunately, between Dendy's plasma field and the blast, there is some kind of good counter push. But then again, those necro minions, they're really tanky
They are
and they
so
do a
tough.
lot of damage.
Yeah.
Question is, Navi, what do? You have spam that is almost unstoppable because you have CM aura, so EGM can throw out spirits pretty much all day, which is what he's been doing. Viper ultis, CM nukes, and Prophet ult. So there's so much just random damage that you're going to be taking from the spam that Alliance have while they're pushing that somebody just has to rotate back to base every once in a while. And thank goodness for the new melee Rax regen, because that's pretty much all Navi have going for them right now. They're smoking out of the base, so they want to try to catch somebody on full retreat, but Alliance are already long gone.
Yep. And even Voldo is putting enough pressure so that that bottom lane is going to get into the tower in the next wave. So with that, it's going to get harder and harder for Navi to decide where to defend. It's just not only defending anymore. It's about choosing where you want to go, where you want to invest. Because when you have a team that has a black hole, you're really good in team fights. But you can't defend split because you send the Enigma somewhere and then you want the Queen of Pain with that just to combo everything. But then on the other lane you have a Razor and the 2, supports, which the Clockwork at this point is more of a support than actually a good offlaner. So you have the hook, but I don't know, it doesn't feel as strong as if you put all the 5 heroes together. While on the other side, Viper and Nature's Prophet, they can by themselves do a lot of pain.
Loda
This
getting
is
caught out
risky.
again. Double bird stun. And now we're going to have S4 from the high ground. Throws an ulti onto Puppy. They catch Loda completely. And he
wow.
just buys back straight away. Funnick, he's dying to Necro creeps. He's going to be forced out. Havost also on low health. Crystal Maiden ulti on Dendi. And
Yeah.
Bulldog, he's actually going to get both kills. Dendi and Havost die again.
You know how
I
Dendi
think
died?
Bulldog is the only person who has killed Havost or Dendi this whole game every single time. And Bulldog finds
triple.
another kill with a teleport onto Funnick. The Aegis goes the way of Alliance. Loda picks it up. He made
You
his
know
way.
how Dendi died, right?
Was it ulti?
No.
Or did he die to the book?
He killed the
book.
bad Necro.
Yeah, with Plasma Field, I'm assuming? Or was it his ulti?
No, just right click.
He just
no,
right-clicked it.
No, I think it was the ultimate. No, it must have been the ultimate. I saw lightning and I assumed it was right click, but it must have been the ultimate. Yeah. So with that, it kind of sucks.
Yeah, I mean, to me, this feels like GG. This
Yeah.
feels like Alliance are walking down mid. They're going to get the racks for free. There's no glyph on the side of NaVi. They didn't use Black Hole around Roshan, so Puppy has it. But this is really a hard push to stop, especially now that Loda has the Aegis.
Yeah, this is gone. This is 2 racks is gone.
So wait, are we saying Barcelona or Real Madrid have won? We did.
Barcelona. Wasn't Dendi
I thought we
Messi?
said that Dendi was Messi. So that's Barcelona. So Real Madrid.
Oh,
have
yeah,
won.
right. Okay, Real Madrid won this one. Yeah, you're right. Sorry, I'm confused.
Yeah.
Well, they
Jeez,
take this
Bruno.
one.
Where's your football knowledge, man?
So wait, then if we're saying that S4 is Messi, does that mean Admiral Bulldog is like
No.
shabby?
Dendi was.
Oh, Dendi pops
Dendi
BKB, goes on Loda, another link in a B there, S4
EGM
throws out
punching.
the
Look at
zoning
the
ulti.
punch.
He's got a BKB, he takes out Dendi with the staple gun, Hex on the Kuro in the back, Funnick is hitting S4, but he just doesn't care, Puppy. He lands a 2-man black hole, but Admiral Bulldog's BKB'd anyway, it just doesn't matter. Just look at Bulldog, man, he's standing there just tanking the Midnight Pulse. Dendi, he wants the heck out of here, Loda's currently chasing. Gonna be another Sprout, he pops the Ghost Scepter while he's inside of the trees, and once he gets out,
Ouch.
that's it.
Did Bulldog die at all
There's
after
an
that
GG.
first death?
I don't think so. Nope. Or no, he died one more time.
Oh, okay.
So yeah,
I
he
thought
had,
he gave
2
up.
deaths the whole game, but he's 16, 2, and 10. So I think his performance this game was the story. He just has an absolute insane game on a Nature's Prophet. He goes from getting first blooded to getting a triple kill in middle lane, Phase, Midas, Shadowblade, and he had something else, I believe, at 22 minutes of book 1, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was absolutely unbelievable. So congratulations to Alliance. They won our first game of the day after yesterday where they fell to Fnatic. So congratulations once again, and really well played.
And they had to prove something after the Fnatic loss, and they proved it really well. There was no contest at all during the game. Alliance dominated pretty much from the 5-minute Money 5 onwards, and then after that, it was all their game.
Have it. So it will be Alliance taking down NaVi in game number 1 here today. Welcome back to the studio. And to me, got my job back for a little
Yay.
bit.
Yeah.
I mean,
The
yay.
bartender job?
Huh?
The bartender job?
No, that didn't go so well. You need alcohol apparently.
Ah,
to start selling to
details.
people. Yeah, I found out the Twitter. It's DH DreamLeague.
DH Dream
Yeah,
League.
maybe we'll take
ASUS
some
ROG?
questions. No, there's no ASUS ROG in there, but
Okay.
they're everywhere else. So don't
Great.
forget ASUS ROG. I think ASUS ROG have a Twitter as well because we've worked with them a few times
Yeah.
before, and I think it is
Everybody
literally
has a
ASUS
Twitter.
ROG.
Yeah,
Huh?
everybody has a Twitter. Jeez, even I have one.
You're not one of those kind of people though who's going to make Facebook accounts for your kids, are you, and update stuff?
No.
You've done it, haven't you?
No, that's just weird.
Not you.
No, my sister's got one for her cat. Wrong camera.
Really?
Really?
Okay, so yeah, when we come back from the break, we'll be talking about that game at hand and also the up-and-coming matches, which will be NaVi versus Fnatic twice. And I've got some stuff to say about Admiral Bulldog in that match. Obviously, it was good. I also think some of the item choices could have been a little bit more optimal. So I want to get your thoughts, Andy, when we come back about why the Necro book specifically.
Okay.
When we come back, that's going to happen. See you after the break.
Members of the Republic, you are receiving this message because humanity is facing a major crisis. We are giving you technology with everything you need to ready up. We sent this powerful device back in time so you can save the world. ROG750 is equipped with an Intel Core i7 and powerful NVIDIA GeForce graphics.
Testing complete. All functions normal. Start time to install process.
Use it well. You are our only hope for survival. Good luck. The future is in your hands.
It's time to extend your domination. Extend your command precision with an 8200 DPI Pro Aim R3 laser sensor. Extend your atmospherics with a fully customizable 4 LED multicolor lighting system with effects. Extend the life and accuracy of your gaming with the Rocket Titan wheel. The Cone XTD Max Customization